watch the game last night? How about that sports team, huh? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of 10 Minutes with Tangelo, shot on location right here in my home. Wow, what a year it's been. Just a few months ago, life was consistent. It was predictable. And for most of us, we just spent the time at home during the evenings with our family and on the weekends when we were resetting and recharging for the upcoming Monday. Now, we're at home 24/7. And all of those things that we had set up for us, like our workstation, has been left for us to figure out on our own. Now, we're using things like our couch as our office, our coffee table, and we're even commandeering maybe our child's little arts and crafts table. What I'm gonna show you today is some tips and tricks to turn even your dining room table into a high functioning workplace. In addition to that, I'm gonna show you some exercises to keep your body feeling healthy and happy, because when you feel your best, you're able to give your best and be the most productive. Let's go. All right, so here we are. We're at home and we need to be as productive as we ever were. But for most of us, we don't already have a home office already perfectly set up for us, and we need to make do with what we have. Most of us already have a dining or kitchen table, so why can't that be our new high productive work center? Now, what we have to do is operate within these guidelines, and they are as follows. One, we need to make sure that the monitor is around eye line. Number two is we need to make sure that our elbow is bent around 90 degrees, okay? And number three, we need to make sure that our lower back is staying neutral. And number four, we need to make sure that we're getting up at least once an hour. So how do we achieve that? We're gonna use what we already have available to us. What I will say is if you have a laptop, you're certainly going to need to invest in a wireless keyboard like this and a wireless mouse. Now, most of us don't already have a laptop stand like this, so we're gonna use what we have available to us. If you have kids, I'm sure you have a lot of Lego boxes standing around or laying around. And if you have old college textbooks, those are gonna be really helpful as well. So I just happen to have all two of those things. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna set my laptop on it, and I kind of see where the top of the monitor sits with my eye line. So I think I need to actually lift myself up a little bit higher to make sure the top of the monitor is right at eye line. So I'm gonna use a couch pillow here. Take a seat, more comfortable anyways, and perfect. So the monitor is just below eye line, which is perfect. Now I have my wireless keyboard. I need to make sure that it's set up in the right position. So what you want to do is set up the keyboard where your hands would naturally fall. So if you're here, if this feels like a good work position for your arms, that is where the keyboard is going to fall. And then obviously take the mouse and put it on that normal side, whether it be the right side or the left side. Now we have our lower back neutral. We have the monitor slightly below eye line, if not right at eye line, which is fine. And our elbows bent at 90 degrees. Now what we need to do is make sure that we're getting up once an hour. So what can we do without setting a reminder that chirps at us, especially when we're in the zone, to remind us that we need to get up? What I recommend is having a bottled water nearby, especially within your line of sight. Now, we know that we need to drink water throughout the day. We know we need to stay hydrated, but use your water bottle as the mechanism which you need to get up every hour. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you some exercises that you could do not only while you're sitting, while you're taking those breaks, but also after you go to the restroom and you're moving around, things that you can do to help reset perfect posture and make sure you're feeling your best so you can give your best. Okay, the first exercise that I'm gonna show you is called a seated chin tuck. With this one, in the seated position with a tall spine, chin level to the floor, looking straight forward, I just want you to think about bringing the chin back. And just holding that for a full breath, and then relax. Just like this. Now, the reason why this is really good is our body goes where our attention flows. So if we're looking at a computer screen, no matter how mindful we are of perfect posture, if our attention is here, our body will naturally start to gravitate towards the monitor. Now, what happens when we gravitate towards the monitor is our chin comes forward and the muscles, the small little muscles on the base of the skull get really shortened down and can become aggravated over time. So to help reset those muscles, really just think about keeping that chin level and bringing that chin back. Just like that. The next one is called a seated W. With this one, again, assuming a nice tall spine, chin level, and what we're gonna do is you're going to think about pushing those elbows forward. You're gonna hold that for a few seconds. With this one, I know you're rotating from the shoulder, but don't necessarily think about leading with just the hand going back. Instead, think about pushing those elbows forward and holding that for about 5 seconds and then relax. From here, you're also more than welcome, especially if the elbows are slightly in front of the wrists, is to add in an overhead press. So it's gonna really help get muscles that may have been stretched in this high productivity work position to re-engage to make sure that they don't become irritated. Okay, the last exercise that we're gonna go into is what's called pelvic rocks. Now we have to know that despite our best intentions, when we're in a seated position for about 15 to 20 minutes, our core will naturally get a little fatigued. And when it gets fatigued, we're gonna go from this position to this position. So the best thing that we can do is incorporate some good posture exercises to help us maintain the tall spine for the longest amount of time and help prevent our body from going into this more compromised position. So this is called pelvic rocks. And what I want you to do is while you're working, I want you to really think about rotating that pelvis forward, just like this. Hold that for a few seconds and then relax. Now, when you relax, you don't want to just kind of dump or default back into this position. But if you're starting here and then you rock that pelvis forward like this, you might come out of it in a more neutral state. Do that one a few times per hour. If your lower back gets a little fatigued or it starts to burn a little bit, but it's a burn that you're comfortable with, that is okay because those muscles are certainly engaging for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful and informative. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We're looking forward to producing more content for you and supporting you during this time. Until the next episode of 10 Minutes with Tangelo, this is Sean Masters. We'll see you next time.